So we have a series between the Barrie Colts and the Kingston Frontenacs as Kingston returns to home ice where they've had plenty of success this season and they get the win. So let's recap how this game ended up this week. Entering game number 3, a goaltending change for the Barrie Colts, going with Ben Hrebeck over Sam Hillebrand. And of course, Hrebeck having some solid numbers during the regular season, so not too surprising seeing him in goal, although Hillebrand, of course, just named OHL Goaltender of the Week. In goal, Charlie Schenkel. I know that was a bit of a question mark after the play back in Barrie in games 1 and 2, but this one, right away, the Kingston Frontenacs getting on the board as Euronen setting up Cedric Gandon, and that would make it a 1-0 hockey game. It was just a great scoring play there by the Kingston Frontenacs. Just some pretty passing, as that's something we've seen a lot from the Frontenacs. And of course, they've now opened the scoring in all 3 playoff games so far in this series. After that, we had some hecklers behind Ben Hrebeck, and I gotta say, the fans in that section, pretty impressive. It's also a Ben Pickle fan club, as some of them dressed up in pickle costumes. So I love that touch. So great to see from some of the fans here at the Slush Puppy Place here in Kingston. Now the Barrie Colts, they would tie this hockey game as Bo Akey, a great job keeping the puck in play, carries it into the zone, nice little stick handling play, and he would set up Owen Van Steensel to tie the game at 1. But what was fascinating is we only had 2 shots in the first 10 minutes of this hockey game, and both of those shots ended up in the back of the net. So very low shot totals in that opening frame. The Barrie Colts, though, they would make it a 2-1 score. This time, Anthony Romani, his shot stopped by Schenkel, and Owen Van Steensel, Johnny on the spot, getting his second of the night, making it a 2-1 score. And then the Kingston Frontenacs get a power play late in the first period. It was a 4-on-3 situation. Their passing is just something else, and they've dominated the possession game so far in this series, but they were not able to capitalize as it was 2-1 after the first period. Shots 6-5 for Barrie, so just 11 total shots in that opening frame. Going into the second period, a bit of a different story. Kayshawn Aitchison on a 4-on-3 situation, he would strike iron. They would review it just to make sure it didn't cross the red line, and it was a nice touch here at the arena here in Kingston. They were playing the GoldenEye theme music, so a 90s kid. I really appreciated that touch, so a good job here by the arena staff that are in charge of the music. After that, though, Charlie Schenkel absolutely robbed Emil Hemming. That was on a 5-on-3 situation for the Barrie Colts. And then going the other way, Ben Hrebeck had to make a huge stop himself on Jacob Battaglia, and that was a shorthanded chance for Battaglia. Then a little bit later, penalties were an issue for the Barrie Colts in the second period, including one from Emil Hemming, where he delivered a slash on Cal Ewens. It looked like it was a retaliation to Ewens, but it was kind of vicious. Kind of surprised it was only 2 minutes, but the Barrie Colts, you got to play more discipline, especially here in the playoffs. That would lead to Will Bishop striking iron, and then the Kingston Frontenacs on their 6th power play of the night finally capitalized, tying the game at 2. Cedric Gandon, his second of the night, just putting it on net, and that's what the Kingston Frontenacs were doing. They were just getting pucks to the goal, out shooting the Barrie Colts 28-14 after 2 periods, and it was tied at 2. Going into the third, the Frontenacs just continued that possession game, getting plenty of shots on net. Hrebeck, he was sprawling, doing everything he could to keep the Colts in this one, but eventually Emil Piniemi would put it into the back of the net. Hrebeck, he was just all over the place trying to keep it. And then Schenkel, not long after, made a huge stop on Tristan Bertucci, and when you have a big save at one end, then it goes the other way. And it was a rush, and Ben Pickle sets up Gage Hayes, making it a 4-2 score. Now, the Colts would pull the goaltender, getting the extra attacker, and Carter Lowe, in his office space, he would put one in to get the Colts within 1. It was a 4-3 score, but Kingston would not be denied tonight, as Schenkel making another huge stop, and then Ben Pickle into the empty net, making it a 5-3 score. Final shots, 43-25 for Kingston. So like I said, possession was all for Kingston, and they continue to dominate on the shot clock in this series. That's been a big factor for the Frontenacs, as the Barrie Colts having a hard time with getting possession, as they need to put more pressure really on the Frontenacs. In the third period, a lot of rushes. Hrebeck had to be sensational here tonight, but we knew this was not going to be a sweep. This is going to be a series that's probably going to go at least 6 games. That was my prediction, but we do know we do have a 5th game in Barrie on Saturday. So your 3 stars tonight: Charlie Schenkel with 22 saves. He needed that performance tonight after what happened in games 1 and 2. Emil Piniemi, your 2nd star, a goal and an assist. And then Cedric Gendon, your 1st star with 2 goals. As this is a final score, 5-3. Game 4 is on Thursday back here at Slush Puppy Place. I will not be able to attend that game, unfortunately, but I look forward to being able to call Game 5 back in Barrie on Saturday. So that's the final score from Kingston. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on tonight's game. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Talk to you soon.